like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Lookup TV movement now.
Good evening. You are watching Trending News with me, Jo Mochache, right here at Lookup TV. It is now 9 p.m. and here I shall be giving you the updates on what's going on around the world and as well as here in our home. Remember, if you want to talk to me, all you have to do is go to my social media handles as well as Lookup TV. That's at Twitter and Facebook as well as YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. I'll start you off with our highlights.
The news headlines in association with
In today's headlines, the Kenya Film Classification Board has appointed Christopher Wambua as its acting chief executive officer effective today. The National Resistance Movement in Uganda has issued a detailed response to National Assembly Minority Whip Suna East Member of Parliament, Junet Mohammed. And lastly, a conversation with a Gecko trader who shares their troubles with the on and off fires that sometimes occur at Gecko market. This and more coming up with me, Jo Mochache. Let's begin. And President Yoweri Museveni's party, National Resistance Movement, has given its response to a statement that was given by the Suna East Member of Parliament and Minority Whip, Honorable Junet Mohammed. The party accused the Member of Parliament and his allies for disrespecting President Museveni, the NRM party, the Ugandan government, and the Ugandan people. NRM's reaction comes after Honorable Junet and ODM Chairman John Mbadi, in response to Deputy President William Ruto's blocked travel to Uganda, said that Uganda should respect Kenya and avoid tampering with Kenyan politics. The party made it clear that Uganda and Kenya are still one East African community and respects Kenya and the supremacy of President Kenyatta as well as President Museveni. And coming back to Kenya, controversial KFCB boss Ezekiel Mutua has been replaced at the helm of the Kenya Film Board Classification Board. With effect today, sources privy to the information reveal that the now former boss will be replaced by Christopher Wambua, who will hold the Chief Executive Officer position in acting capacity. More with Brian Amoy.
People can't just push you around or remove you unless there is a good reason, of course, following the law.
With less than 3 months shy of the expiry of his contract, Kenya Films and Classification Board CEO Ezekiel Mutua has been asked to proceed on a terminal leave. An internal memo dated August 6th and addressed to KFCB staff members states that Christopher Wambua will hold the Chief Executive Officer position in acting capacity for 2 months. Responding to the news of his removal on social media, Mutua said, and I quote, "My attention has been drawn to reports on social media to the effect that I have been fired as CEO of KFCB. Please ignore such malicious rumors. I am not aware of such developments and there can be no grain of truth in them as there's no vacancy in the office of the CEO KFCB." Mutua was first appointed to the position in October 2015 and reappointed 3 years later. His rules follow a report to the State Corporations Advisory Committee that the KFCB board met on June 30th when they deliberated on the renewal of the contract of the CEO, a meeting that is said to have been unprocedural. Appearing on the Bottom Line KE show on Lookup TV last month, Mutua hinted on internal wrangles which he said people inside the organization were fighting for his removal.
KFCB should be torn in headlines. I would be one of the most celebrated CEOs. Yeah. I am rated by SCAC, different boards, 97, 99. Every year I've raised it from 88 million. We are now worth 2.1 billion. That story will never be told. What you are hearing now, and now there's actually a real sensational campaign to remove me. You'll be reading a lot of funny stories about me that will be written, and they die. They have no merit and they will die. And no more questions. Was that Mutua? nobody questions, because they are being done right now as we speak. And I know all those things. But look, I have been there before. I was Secretary General of KUJ. You know how much I was fought then, Eugene. Yeah. So my take is that there must be people who are strong enough to say, I'm going to create a counter narrative. I'll stand for what I believe to be the truth, and they empower themselves.
Reports indicate that the KFCB boss was allegedly involved in corruption activities and accused of abuse of office. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, also launched a probe after Mutua was accused of receiving irregular payments in terms of salaries and allowances. In the statement dated May 6th, EACC stated that a board member, Ms. Gathoni Kungu, was also under investigations. KFCB was asked to provide personal files of the two officials, all payments of salaries and allowances, including payslips and payment vouchers, human resource policy and procedures manual guiding the increment of salaries and allowances. Ezekiel Mutua prides himself as a boss who took the KFCB to high levels while creating a conducive working environment for his employees.
Eugene and my sister Linda, I've tried since I joined KFCB to lead it like a country. Honestly, I looked at it and I knelt down, and when I got to KFCB, I asked God, if this was Kenya, how would you want me to lead it? And I read Psalms 23 to my staff. And I told them this is for me, Psalms 23 is an appraisal of the leader from the perspective of the led. And I told them I hope by the end of my tenure, you can be this confident that you're a CEO who provided, that your jobs were safe, that you are well paid, that the company was running well, that we expanded our territories.
While the news of his removal from office was circulating online, Dr. Mutua was visiting Amazing Eagles Community Church at the Sparks Talk Ideas Forum organized by Amazing Eagles Technical College at the Muguga campus, Kiambu County, where he engaged in a tree planting session in commemoration of the Sparks Talk Ideas Forum that sought to engage the youth and church community with the government to identify and initiate solutions to challenges in their community. Our attempt to reach him for a comment were futile. Brian Amwai, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Thank you so much, Brian Amwai, for that comprehensive report. Let's move along. Two Embu brothers who were arrested by police officers last Sunday died from broken ribs and head injuries. This is according to an autopsy report conducted at Embu Level 5 Mortuary. So, who hit these two brothers on the head? Our reporter Jefferson Mwai prepared this report.
A family in Embu has been under grief, shock and despair after losing their two sons in the hands of police officers in unclear circumstances.
Nimetoka Kadagere, nimekuja Ketogoba juu ya watoto wangu wawili. Beni na Motora, Beni na Ima. Aki watoto wangu walikuvia mikono ya serikali. Ni kwa nini? Kwani serikali ni ya nini? Ya kusaidia bali ya kutuua. Wametuulia watoto. Kuna polisi sasa Kadagere. Kwa nini watu polisi wakitu? Wamanyata walikuja Ketogoba na kuna polisi Kadagere. Kwa nini watu wa Kadagere walikuwa wapi? Na kuna askari. Askari hapa sasa tunasema afadhali askari wakae tukae tukisaidia.
An incident that prompted residents of Kianjokoma village to take the law into their own hands. They torched a police vehicle protesting the death of the two. Investigations into the mysterious death was initiated at once with the latest finding of an autopsy report conducted at Embu Level 5 Mortuary by 3 different pathologists, with the family, the Independent Medical Legal Unit and Embu Hospital being present. Investigations on the mysterious death was initiated at once with the latest finding of an autopsy report conducted at Embu Level 5 Mortuary by 3 different pathologists, with the family, the Independent Medical Unit and Embu Hospital being represented, shows that Benson Jiru Ndwiga, aged 22, and Emmanuel Mutura Ndwiga, aged 19, died from broken ribs and head injuries caused by a blunt object. It is a report that invalidates the police statement, which stated that the two brothers jumped off a moving police vehicle, thus incurring injuries that led to their death.
The older son of the family, his body had multiple injuries. There were head injuries, there were broken ribs, and then there were injuries at the leg, and there were bruises in the body. The injuries in the head were from a hard object that hit them. They are all over the head, from the back, the side. So he was being beaten all over his head, from this side, and then the back. With the Emmanuel, the young son, he only had injuries at the head. There were no injuries in any part of the body apart from the head. There were no bruises. So the issue of him jumping from the vehicle is neither here nor there.
Furthermore, the family advocate, Mushangi Gishungu, while giving the report as directed by the family pathologist, said Benson's Njiru's body had multiple injuries on the head and broken limbs. The Police Reforms Working Group and the Independent Policing Oversighting Authority, IPOA, are also saying that more investigation will be conducted on the matter.
Postmortem has been done, and we are grateful to God. We know He is a real God, and we believe the truth will come out soon. As a family, we are only crying to our government. We know it is able, and we want them to do investigation. If there is anyone involved, let them be taken to court so that our late children can get justice.
Right, and actually, continuing, this is a development. Angry residents protesting the mysterious deaths of the two brothers in Embu were calmed down by a phone call from Deputy President William Ruto. Ruto was scheduled to tour Embu this week, but changed his plans after political meetings were banned as a COVID-19 preventative measure. Told the locals to be calm and promised justice if there was foul play involved in the two deaths of the young men.
A large crowd of irate residents in Kianjokoma in Embu County has been in the streets since Wednesday, protesting the mysterious deaths of two youthful brothers who were found dead in a Embu mortuary just days after they were arrested for violating curfew. The protesters who were burning tires and blocking roads stopped to listen when a phone call from DP Ruto was broadcast on loudspeaker for all to hear. Amidst cheers from the crowd, Ruto urged the residents to be calm and acknowledge their loss, saying that whoever is found guilty in the deaths of the two brothers will face justice. Another person has been reported to have been shot by police in the running battles that have ensued between police and protesters since Wednesday. Benson Njiru and his brother Emmanuel were found dead at the Embu Level 5 hospital mortuary 3 days after they had been arrested by police officers from Yatta police station for allegedly violating curfew. Family and residents believe that the two were murdered by police officers, although Embu Police denies these claims. The Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutiambai and the Independent Police Oversight Authority IPOA have since launched investigations into the matter. Waris Kimathi, Lookup TV in Nairobi.
Right. Thank you so much, Waris Kimathi, for that. Gikomba Market is on fire yet again. The inferno broke out at around 1 a.m. and has taken down businesses and residential houses in the popular market. Traders who are now counting losses, which amount to millions of shillings, say the fire incident has now become a familiar occurrence, and the recommendation they gave to the government a year ago has not yet been implemented.
Traders are counting losses after a fire broke out yet again in Gikomba Market. The fire is said to have started at around 1 a.m. at the section along Mololine area, popularly known as Gorofani. Some of the traders blamed the Nairobi Metropolitan Services and City Hall for taking too long to respond to their distress calls, which aggravated the losses they incurred as traders who had stocked their bale of clothes did not manage to save them. This comes in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, when traders are trying to adjust to the economic hardship. The traders had asked the government to ensure that a fire engine is on standby near the popular market in order to ease emergency response in case of a fire. The last Gikomba fire was in February last year, where the Mitumba section was again affected. On April 10, 2019, more than 2,000 structures were razed as a section of the market was gutted by fire. In 2018, the market experienced 3 fire cases which led to President Uhuru Kenyatta calling for investigations into the fires. In June last year, 15 people died and at least 60 injured when a section of the market dealing with timber and clothes was burned. The same year, in October, another fire had been experienced in the market. In 2017, Gikomba Market caught fire twice on October 6 and September 10th. In 2015, fire broke out twice in the market in the months of May and June. The fire was experienced twice in 2014 in the months of May and October, and once in the month of March 2012. Mysterious fires in the market appear to be a routine that has not been solved. There are claims that there is a group of people who have been behind the annual fire in the market with plans to evict small business owners and grab the land. It has been said that loan defaulters at times set shops on fire and tell banks they lost the property. As a result, the businessmen burn them to claim insurance. It has also been mentioned that the traders themselves burn the stalls to evict other traders and charge them higher rent. Leaders want the county government to investigate in depth of what causes the fire each and every time in the market, as traders are incurring huge losses. Nominated Senator Millicent Omanga is one of the leaders who expressed her concerns on social media about the incident. Seeking to solve the issue, Nairobi County government sought to build a new 5-story building to end all wrangles within the market. At a cost of 3 billion, the market will have at least 525 stalls across all 5 floors. Despite being a source of employment to many, Gikomba is also a business center in East African countries. Angelique Opingo, Look Up TV.
And after Angelique Opingo's story, we are going to be taking a brief break. We shall be right back with the rest of our detailed stories.
Like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Look Up TV movement now.
You guys have to tweet about this. What phone is this? Hey, looks good. How much is it? You haven't heard of the Optiven offer? No. I must excuse you invest too. Optiven has this amazing offer. If you make a commitment of 900k in any of their value-added projects, you get rewarded with a cool smartphone, bro.
Welcome to the Natural Juicing Center. We are a unique organization that seeks to provide the community with an alternative healthcare option. We specialize in the use of a natural holistic system that focuses on building health through cleansing and nourishing of the body. We utilize a variety of natural health promoting methods in our services, which include juicing therapy, hydrotherapy, colon cleansing, massage therapy, and a comprehensive cleansing service, among others. Our juices are freshly made and tailored to each and every client's individual needs after evaluation by our team through our free consultation service. You can now book for any service or order for food supplements on our website www.naturaljuicingcenter.co.ke. You can also visit our center in Kahawa Sukari, house number 1334, Kahawa Sukari Avenue. Natural Juicing Center. Your health is your wealth.
Welcome to Look Up Guest House, Retreat and Prayer Center. When you first come in, we will be happy to receive you at our reception, then proceed to our cozy and well-equipped accommodation facilities. We aim to provide our guests with a unique, comfortable, and worthwhile experience. Here at Look Up Guest House, we provide our guests with a continuous supply of room amenities. A cool environment for all your retreat activities.
Look Up Guest House, Retreat and Prayer Center. For reservation, contact us on info@lookupguesthouse.org or call us on 0746 788 707. Like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Lookup TV movement now. Now.
Welcome back from that break. Remember, this is your trending news with me, Joy Mochache. Let's continue. Elderly are now at risk because Kenya has received another shipment of vaccines from Greece today to help boost the vaccination process in the country. According to statistics from the Ministry of Health, elderly people make the biggest number of casualties of coronavirus. According to the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the Africa CDC, Kenya is officially in its fourth wave. Our reporter, Keith Gitonga, with a health roundup.
The fight against the COVID-19 virus has been strengthened. This follows the arrival of a further 180,000 AstraZeneca vaccines, which are received at the JKIA. The latest consignment is a donation from the Greek government, hence pushing the number of vaccines received in the country to over 2.3 million. Speaking at the JKIA after receiving the consignment, the National Task Force on Vaccine Deployment Chair, Dr. Willis Akwali, said the donation was a welcome boost to the ongoing vaccination exercise going on in the country. He further says the government expects to have vaccinated 10 million people by the end of this year. The deputy head of mission at the Embassy of Greece in Kenya said the donation was a demonstration of the cordial relations between Kenya and Greece. EU Deputy Head of Delegation Catherine Susanna was among those who attended the ceremony. According to the statistics from the Ministry of Health, the elderly people make the biggest number of casualties of the coronavirus as the death toll surpasses 4,000. Dr. Patrick Amoth, the Director General in the Health Ministry, said the number of deaths that the country is recording is worrying and it's high time Kenyans went back to basics. At the same time, as cases of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to be a menace across the world, according to the Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the Africa CDC, Kenya is no longer in its third wave anymore. The Africa CDC says here in Africa, 3 countries are currently experiencing their fourth wave, with Kenya among them. 3. On matters of transportation in the country, public transport operators will resume carrying full capacity from Monday to caution the sector from massive losses. The Kenyan government advises commuters to observe COVID-19 guidelines. Keith Gitonga, Lookup TV, Nairobi.
Thanks for that, Keith Gitonga. And let's move on, discuss a little bit about politics and campaigns. Political parties and candidates in the run-up to next year's general election will not be restricted on the amount of cash they can spend in the 2022 polls after the electoral agency was time-barred in tabling rules setting caps on the election campaign expenditure. The commission is also required to set out the limit to the contributors. Our reporter, Carol Wangari Wanjiru, has the rest of that.
The countdown of the 2022 general election has kicked off. The electoral agency has disclosed the regulations it intends to use in setting campaign funding limits for candidates in the 2022 general election. The regulation seeks to enforce a cap and regulate the amount of money a political party or candidate will spend on elections or referendum campaigns. The IEBC, under Section 5 of the Election Campaign Financing Act 2013, is required to make rules which must be submitted to Parliament for approval, which will be held in August 9, 2022 in the country. This means the draft Election Campaign Financing Regulations 2020 must have been passed on or before August 9, 2021. According to the regulations, the expenditure limits will be reached by tabulating the estimated cost of venues, publicity materials, advertising and media, campaign personnel, campaign agents, and election agents. However, the IEBC, at least 3 months before an election, will publish in the Kenya Gazette total spending limits a candidate or political party contesting for an elective post may spend during the election campaign period. Carol Wangari Wanjiru, Lookup TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Carol Wangari Wanjiru. How about a little bit of sports? Faith Kipyego retained her Olympics 1,500 meters gold in an emphatic fashion at the Olympic Stadium here on Friday. Kipyego came home in an Olympic record of 3 hours and 53 minutes ahead of Great Britain's Laura Muir and Netherlands' Sifan Hassan. Kipyego now becomes the second African woman to defend an Olympic title after becoming a mom after Cameroonian triple jumper Francois Mbango. Hassan took the field through the 400 meters in 1 minute and 2 seconds with Kipyego in tow. The same pair led at 7,000 meters at 1:52.80, and Kipyego won her first Olympic gold in 2016 in Rio. Kipyego broke the 33-year-old Olympic record set by Romanian Paula Ivan at the Seoul Games as she clocked at 3 minutes and 51 seconds in hot, humid conditions at the Olympic Stadium. Right, and World Athletics President Sebastian Coe believes the steeplechase is still very much a Kenyan event, despite Morocco's Soufiane El Bakkali breaking the stranglehold by winning the Olympic gold here last Monday. Our very own Ochieng Sylvian with the report.
Kenya has dominated the water jump and barrier race since 1968, when Amos Biwott won the Olympic Games gold in Mexico. The other winners were Kipyego in 1972, Julius Korir in 1984, Julius Kariuki in 1988, Matthew Birir in 1992, Joseph Keta in 1996, Ruben Kosgei in 2000, Ezekiel Komboi in 2004, Birim Kipruto in 2008, Ezekiel Kemboi in 2012, and Concealers Kipruto in 2016. Kenya boycotted the Olympics in 1976 and 1980 that were held in Moscow and Montreal. On Monday, Kenyan's Benjamin Kigen had settled for the bronze medal in 8 minutes, 11.45 seconds, with El Bakil taking gold in 8 minutes, 8.90 seconds, and Ethiopian's Lamek Grimin bagging silver in 8 minutes, 10.38 seconds. Sebastian on Thursday said the loss at the Tokyo National Stadium should not necessarily mean that the steeplechase is no longer a Kenyan race, but he won against Kenyan wrestling on allures, even with steeplechase dominance. Ochieng Sylvian, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
And before I let you go, strangely enough, actually, everything that's trending on Twitter right now in Kenya is got to do with our Olympics, except for Messi. Messi is number one, trending with the UEFA Champions League. And we also have second in line, Faith Kipyego, who we've just discussed, very proud of her. Thirdly, Ezekiel Mutua is also trending due to being replaced by a different CEO. And lastly, justice for the Njokoma brothers. Trending news indeed, just like our bulletin. I must thank all those who helped us in putting this together. I must wish you a good night. Here is where we depart. My name is Jeremy Chache.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to views@look-up.tv. We can't wait